Hey, good morning, YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. How y'all doing? It's good to see you Sunday morning, 10:30 in the morning here on the East Coast. We're here in the Orlando area. Yes, our neighbor is mowing the grass, so we got some lovely background music going on today. I hope everything is amazing in your world. Yes, I am wearing a lei. We got this on the Margaritaville Islander, having just returned from 6 nights on that ship. Oh my goodness gracious, folks, we've got so much to talk about from the Margaritaville Islander. And of course, we're going to be answering all of your questions. We do have a group cruise coming up on the Islander. However, we're holding off on the official announcement. They have some work they need to do on the back end of the booking engine for travel agents. As soon as they get that fixed, we will be announcing a 6-night cruise coming in February of 2025. We already have everything. We have 50 cabins on hold. We have everything set. We got the pricing set. We got everything ready to go. Just waiting for them to make a few fixes to the back end on the booking engine, and then we'll be good to go. But hey, I see Cindy's here, Joe's here, Becky's here. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody. Well, what an amazing 6 nights it was on the Margaritaville Islander. As you have probably seen, we've got a ton of footage up there, got a ton of stories out there. I've got so much more that I need to get out. I just need time to edit it, including some wonderful interviews. Cruise director ZJ sat down with me. The vice president of food and beverage, Eric, sat down with me. The head of casino operations, Greg from the groups department, and even, which was a cool one, I got to sit with Taylor. Taylor is the person who puts together the itineraries and actually does the negotiations with the various ports of call. That was actually a very cool chat. So I'll probably have that out there tomorrow if I can get to it. So, hey, John is ready for our Sun Princess cruise right now. That is our next. That's our next cruise, the Sun Princess. If you want to come out and join us for the Sun Princess group, that's going to be amazing in October. We're basically on last call for that one right now. That ship is so close to sold out right now that we are basically on last call for that. So if anybody wants to come out and join us for that one, yeah, it is going to be, you need to do it sooner than later, but I cannot wait. I'll tell you what, folks, I don't know if any of you have sailed out of Tampa before. Oh, and by the way, before we get too far, as always, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor. If you're new to the channel, we invite you to subscribe, like, share, let everybody know that you like what we're doing, because we really do enjoy bringing you this content every week. And of course, if we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. If you're watching us on TikTok, you just simply click my logo and go down there into the links. You'll find a contact us link. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you can reach out to us either via the links in the description or just click on my profile and reach out. We'd be happy to help you all out. So how's everybody? Let's see. We got Barbara. Hey, Barbara is here. Kurt is here. Nurse Tara is here. Janet is here. Kurt, you said you saw something about double points for your Princess cruise. I need to double check that. That might be new bookings only. I don't know if that applies to cruises that are already booked. I don't think it does, but I need to go back and double check the language on that. But what Kurt is referring to is they were offering, Princess was offering double points for instead of getting 1 point per stateroom, 2 points per suite, whatever the points are, they were offering double points for every cruise. But I think that was for new bookings made within a specific time window. I don't think that, I'm pretty sure that's not retroactive back to anything that is already booked. But I'll have to go back.
If it was.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw that as well. Kurt, I don't think that is the case in terms of a pre-booked cruise. You would have to cancel and rebook, which means you would be losing any and all benefits from the previous booking. So Harley wants to know, what's the real scoop on the Islander? Well, hopefully you've been looking at my videos. I try to be very fair and balanced with my videos. I will say it was absolutely beautiful. They did an amazing job with the ship. So this is a 24-year-old ship. They spent 5 months renovating it. And, because she is a 24-year-old ship, she's not perfect by any means. There were doors that weren't working. There were certain mechanical things that weren't working. But on the plus side, it was beautiful. I mean, I was meeting folks on there who have sailed on the Carnival Spirit and the other Spirit class ships, and they were saying they liked the look of this ship more. This is also a Spirit class ship. And they were saying that they liked the look of what Margaritaville has done with this one even more. It was bright. It was fun. I mean, that was the overall theme of the ship. It was fun. It was really, really fun. The food, of course, it started off a little bit on the room temperature cold side, but during the preview. But by our final meal, which I should be posting that today, the final meal in the Finn dining room was amazing. It was like really, really good. The cheeseburger in Paradise, I'm going to say it's right up there with Guy's Burgers. It might be better than Guy's Burgers. Farside Sushi was really tasty. Mexican Cantina was really, really tasty. And Frank and Lola's Pizza was amazing. Now the buffet is, it's a little boring. You're not going to go hungry on the buffet, but it's not the most exciting buffet in the world. But then again, neither is Carnival or, Norwegian, in our opinion. We are going back on the Margaritaville Islander probably in September, October. And then we have a big group that we've locked away 50 cabins. We've already negotiated the rates. It's a 6-night cruise in February 2025. We're just waiting for Margaritaville to make some updates to the booking engine on the back end. We're not satisfied with where the booking engine is right now, but we've got everything on hold. We're hoping within the next week or two, we can announce our group cruise. It's going to be a really fun one. We're working with another travel agent as well. We're hoping to get 100 cabins of folks on the ship. So that'll be in February. So yes, 2 questions that I got. Would you book clients on the ship? I already have. And 2, would you go back? Yes. Not only are we going back, we're hoping to bring about 200 people with us on the group cruise in February. It is a fun ship. It's a really nice option coming out of Tampa Bay. It's the largest ship that's home ported right now out of Tampa Bay in terms of passengers. And unfortunately, she's in the smallest terminal. So you do have to bring your patients with you on embarkation day because the fire marshal, of course, being very, very strict. It is the smallest terminal. There are only so many people who can get inside the building at a time before they close the building. And even if you're in priority, you still may be waiting because, again, there's only so many people that can get inside the building at any given time. There's nothing Margaritaville can do about that. They are trying to work on some ideas to help, ease the embarkation. One thing I would certainly say, if your arrival time is not until 2 o'clock, don't show up before 2 o'clock. Wait until 2 o'clock because you're just going to be jamming up the line. So I think it's really good. Outside in the heat. You're definitely going to be waiting outside in the heat for sure. So, So that's the deal on the Margaritaville Islander. Justin says, thank you for the videos. You're going on the Islander June 28th. Oh, you're going to have a great time. You are going to have a fabulous time. One of the cool things, folks, they don't say this, but I found out from Eric, the Vice President of Food and Beverage, there are 13 bars on the Margaritaville Islander. Each one has their own margarita. So I didn't find that out until like day 5 of 6. I was like, oh man, I wish I'd have known that from the first day. I would have tried all 13 of them. So I've actually encouraged Margaritaville, they should create like a Margaritaville crawl, right? And you get something at the end of it. So anyway, so know that, Justin, there are 13 different margaritas on the ship. Hey, the cruising chicks are here. Becky is here. How are you? It's good to see you. Let's see. John is saying I like how Margarita as a hotel brand as well. Really merchandise the vibe they were going for. I will say the merchandise was really cool. Some of the best retail I've seen on a cruise ship. A really, really nice job, especially the branded merchandise was absolutely amazing. So
2 little orders of business.
Yeah.
One, if you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages on TikTok,
yes,
do not use the word Virgin because TikTok will block you. Second point of order, you don't have to keep asking the same questions over and over because Walter takes his time.
I do.
He will get to your question.
I will get to your question. And that lovely voice you're hearing off camera is my wife, Rebecca. My lovely wife, Rebecca, who is my favorite person in the world. I have that on camera. And she keeps me square on all the questions. So if you're waiting for me to answer a question, I will not miss it because she will not allow me. And once again, yes, that is our neighbor mowing the grass alongside. I love living in this neighborhood. We really have some nice neighbors here. Hey, Betty, how you doing? Hey, cruising chicks, if you're thinking about going in August, go in August. Mark is asking, have we done a repositioning cruise? You're thinking of doing a West Coast one. We have not done one personally. We're thinking about doing it in 2025, possibly 2026. taking the Queen Mary 2 over, which is just a straight up transatlantic. But we have booked a lot of clients, both transatlantic, trans-Pacific, also going up into Dubai. It's really interesting what's going on. In fact, I've got a couple of really cool ones. Client going from Tampa up to Vancouver to reposition the ship to get ready for the Alaska season. Then we've got another one actually going Tampa up to Boston. So repositioning is not always just, these big grand, we're going to go all over. I've got some others that are taking Carnival from Seattle down to New Orleans. So like even just repositioning the ship to get from, say, the Caribbean to Alaska back to the Caribbean or wherever they're going. Those are some really cool repositioning. I think one of the more fun ones right now is Virgin Voyages repositioning the Brilliant Lady from Quebec down to Miami. It includes a stop in Charleston, which I think that would be super cool to come into Charleston on a cruise ship, which, of course, they were cruising out of there. I think Charleston shut that down, but you can still visit from time to time, which is very cool. So I see Warren's over. Hi, Warren. Hi, Benny. How's everybody doing? If I missed your name, I am so sorry. Cam, the opinion on the Carnival Sunrise. We have not sailed her yet. However, we have booked clients on her. She's a smaller ship. She's an older ship. And there is nothing wrong with that at all. She did get a renovation sometime within the last 2 years. Anytime you see a ship that has the blue hull on her now, that means she went in within the past 2 or 3 years to go ahead and get her renovation and get the new blue hull. So I don't have a personal opinion. However, we've sent clients on her and they've all enjoyed the ship. So that's all I can tell you. If anybody else here has gone on the Carnival Sunrise, feel free to chime in and let us know. Be happy to do that. Hey, Mr. Michael, thank you for your kind words. Thank you. Hey, Greg, how you doing, buddy? Greg is the director of groups over on Margaritaville At Sea. Hello, Mr. Fins Up. Yeah, let me get down where you can see it. Fins Up, how you doing? Good to see you. Greg and his team are absolutely fabulous. The package that they put together for our group is absolutely amazing. I can't wait till we can announce this. I'm just waiting for that booking engine just to get to where we can actually work with it a little bit better. But he's put together a really nice package. We have a very exciting thing that we're all going to be doing on this particular group cruise. So, we may just have to announce it this week. I'm like really excited about this thing. So early February, 6 nights on the Margaritaville Islander, y'all.
Middle of February.
Y'all. I'm telling you, when you get on the Margaritaville Islander, you get yourself a margarita, you get yourself a cheeseburger in paradise. That is how you start your cruise. So, Kristen, did we book an excursion through Maz and Cozumel? We did not. We did not do anything in Cozumel on this particular one because for me, it was more about exploring the ship. We had 6 nights on the ship. I wanted to make sure I saw everything about the ship. And that was my one and only time really to get off the ship and see it because, the first cruise was a 2-night cruise to nowhere. And then the second cruise, we had the one stop in Cozumel. So really, I got off the ship to take some nice pictures of it to see what the ship really looked like from the outside. But they do have a slew of excursions in Cozumel. Plus, you can go through our independent partner, Venture Ashore. Venture Ashore does offer a return to ship guarantee. So if for whatever reason you were to miss your the ship going out, then they will get you to the next port, which in this case, they'd get you back to Tampa. So no, we did not. Thank you, Harley. We appreciate it. Just joined. Alex is asking, are we still planning a group cruise on the Islander? Yes, it will be in mid-February 2025, 6 nights. And it does include Key West. We're hoping to do something really fun in Key West. Tara, yep, so 6 nights, Tara. And Crossman 2K, you're going on July 2nd on the Islander. You've never been to Progreso. So Progreso, Mexico is a new port, pretty much. It just came in, this year, last year?
I think last year.
Yeah. So it is very exciting that we have some new ports coming into play, in the Western Caribbean. So Liben, you're looking at taking your first Holland America cruise. Anything that you need to know that's special?
I think the most interesting thing is unlike many other cruise lines, you cannot pick your arrival time. Holland America assigns it to you.
Yeah, Holland America will automatically assign your arrival time. The buffet is great. The main dining room, I'm still hearing mixed reviews.
We personally haven't been in quite a while. We're looking to get back soon.
Yeah. So
the music is amazing. The live music in the evening.
Live music is amazing. Now they got rid of the Lincoln Center experience, but they've got everything else still there. I know they have that 360 theater on some of the ships, and the service is a little bit more proper than some other cruise lines that you might be used to. But the service is lovely, and pools are really nice depending on the ship you're going on. So, the thing about Holland America, they have small ships, they have newer ships with a lot of bells and whistles. So your experience will differ based on the actual ship you go on. If you'd like some help picking out your ship and your itinerary, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. You're watching us on TikTok, so just simply click the logo, and there's a link in there to contact us. Our services, I'll remind you folks, our services are 100% free. We don't charge for our services. So, we're happy to help you out with Holland America, Margaritaville, pretty much anything out there. I think we represent about 35 different ocean and river cruise lines. So if there's a cruise line you're thinking of, we can probably help you out. So I hope that was a helpful answer. Marie, when will Alaska 2026 open up? We're expecting it to open up around the end of this season. Right now, 2025 is open. So, of course, the cruise lines want you to book 2025. And while this season is going on, they're finalizing the negotiation for 2026. They may be trying to open up some different itineraries. Plus, they're trying to figure out, a lot of cruise lines have new ships coming out. So now they're trying to figure out, well, which ships are going to go where. We even have Virgin Voyages in the mix now, which is insane. I never thought we'd have Virgin Voyages up there. But I would suspect by around the end of this season is when you'll see 2026 open up. So the season ends in September, October. Hey, I can talk a little bit quieter. He's done with the backyard. But yeah, I would say by the end of this season, it will probably open up.
They'll start to roll out.
They should.
Between the end of the season this year and
the
end of this year.
They should.
Somewhere. Disney being the exception, because they have they do quarterly releases. Right.
And I'll remind everybody that lovely voice off camera is my wife, Rebecca. She is my partner in crime at Where's Walter Travel, and a source of a lot of great information. She does a lot of the research when you guys call in and, we do research. She does the majority of the research for y'all. So she's the one finding those amazing cruises. I'm just a guy on camera looking really good, right? I'm looking really good on camera. Yes, I am. Especially with delay. They gave us these on the Islander. It was so much fun. I loved it. John is saying, doesn't Tampa have a brand new Margaritaville Resort? I think it does. It was really fun. We stayed at the Home 2 Suite. So we did the 2-day preview and then the 4-night inaugural, but there was one day in between. We stayed at the Home 2 Suites right there in Tampa, and it was kind of cool because the Islander was right there. We could see her in the port. So that was kind of cool. So even that whole day, we were just hanging out. Benny is saying it's 118 days till our group on the Sun Princess. Was I able to find out about the kids club? So I did not get a chance to go in. The embarkation days were kind of nutty, and I should have gone down there during the preview. When it was when they really weren't running to the public yet. I can tell you there are 4 levels of them, and they look great. They look like a lot of fun. I have a great interview with cruise director ZJ that I'll be bringing to you shortly. That's actually part of her department, and she talks about that a bit. So yeah, they have 4 levels of it. It looks like a lot of fun. That's all I can tell you offhand right now. We don't have any children, and we didn't have anybody staying that used the kids club. So I'm sorry I can't answer directly, but I do have a video coming out very shortly with ZJ, and ZJ does talk about that in one of her answers. So just give me maybe the end of the day today, tomorrow, I'll get that out there. It's about a 14-minute interview. It was so much fun. And by the way, thank you to Greg. I don't know if Greg is still watching, but Greg is the one who set up all the interviews for me. It was absolutely fabulous. It was just absolutely amazing. So Rebecca, when you get a moment, can you turn that wheel again one more notch that way? Yeah, my camera is acting a little squirrely today on the YouTube side as she walks into the light.
Ah, shit.
Oh my goodness! Oh, now we're PG. We're PG now.
Sorry.
My wife had just made this a PG show. We apologize in advance for the
I am
angry
so
letters we're
sorry.
going to get. Tina is asking on the Royal Caribbean dining package, is it worth it or chef table? I can tell you the chef table was totally worth it on the Symphony of the Seas. Yes, we were on the Symphony of the Seas and we did the chef table dinner. It was freaking amazing. Now, in terms of the dinner packages, they have multiple packages. That's totally up to you if it works out for you.
And I don't know. I know they're planning to make it so you can pre-book your dinners using the packages.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's happened yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
When that happens, it'll be like a game changer.
Yeah, it'll be a lot better. So, and before I answer a few more questions, I'm going to run down the Islander real quick. I know a lot of people are tuning in to hear about the Islander. Cabins, beautiful. We had a breezy balcony and we had an extended balcony cabin on the two sailing. Cabins themselves are identical. What we were told is they took them down to, bare bones, and you can tell like everything in the room is new. The cabinetry and all that is original, but it's all been cleaned up. And it was actually lovely the way they set them up. On the deck plan, the breezy balcony and the extended balcony don't look any different. We were like, the balconies look like they're identical. But the extended balcony is twice as deep. So we were very happy to find that out. So you could put a lounge chair out on the extended balcony.
That might be pushing it.
No, you can definitely put a lounge chair out on the extended. The breezy definitely too short, but on the extended balcony, you could ask for a lounge chair. I don't know if they provide them, but you could ask them. Lots of water pressure in the shower. The shower was nice and hot. Now, some of you may have been seeing some posts about toilets working up and down. The thing about it is, we were told, hey, we learned a lot about toilets on these 6 nights, and they were very candid about it. I love this. They were very open and honest. They were telling us everything that was going on, but apparently they did something to clean out the whole plumbing system on the transatlantic coming over, and ultimately that turned out to be a little bit of a mistake, because when you do that, you need to have the systems constantly flushing to get everything out and all cleaned up. So of course, when they come over on the transatlantic, nobody's on the ship. And then nobody was really on the ship until we all came on for the preview. And so the system is kind of working itself out. And that's why you saw some people saying, oh, well, the toilets worked, then they didn't work. They knew all about it and they knew exactly what was causing it. And like usually within 15 minutes of us reporting it, there would be a mysterious flush in our toilet and everything would go. So that's all that was. So that's really a non-deal. The issue, you may have seen some people talking about their room being a little bit hot because the air conditioning wasn't working well. We had that in our first cabin. It turns out Costa did something above the cabin when the ship was last in London, because people were talking about the cabins being too cold. So whatever the engineers did above the room, the Margaritaville engineers had to undo that, and then all of a sudden our room was blasting cold. So with, I don't know how many staterooms are on that ship, it may take them a while to get through all the staterooms. Now that they know what the issue is, it may take them a while to get through all the staterooms and find it. And it's not every stateroom that they did it. So that was that. Let's see. So the public spaces were beautiful. The bars, beautiful, fun. Bartenders, they're still learning. All right. So the bartenders were kind of up and down a little bit. The drinks were up and down a little bit, but when we got on the ship for our preview, the bulk of that crew had only been on the ship for a week. It was absolutely remarkable that they were even able to serve us in any kind of a capacity at all, only being on a ship for a week. I mean, they were still figuring out where things were on the ship after only being on there for a week. And by the way, the crew, amazing. They may not know all the answers. They may not know where things are, but they were so friendly. Oh my God, they were like among the most friendly crew we have met. And the crew is what keeps you coming back to a ship time after time after time. If you have a lovely experience with the crew, yeah, some things might be mechanically wrong. Yeah, maybe some food is cold and this, but if you have a great time with the crew, you're probably going to come back. And we are definitely coming back. We had 2 room stewards. They were both excellent. I met other room stewards throughout the hall. The hallways were beautiful. Actually, they did a really nice job redoing the hallways. They got the nice Margaritaville touches throughout. The atrium, oh my gosh, you take the glass elevator up or you take the glass elevator down. You're either going up from the ocean to the sky or you're going from the sky down to the ocean. whoever came up with that idea, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was absolutely beautiful. The biggest surprise for me was the Hemisphere Dancer Spirits Bar. I was not expecting a craft bar, especially a craft bar that lovely on the Margaritaville at Sea. Oh my God, it was an absolutely beautiful bar. Drinks were good. Let's see, what else? What else can I tell you? The music was a bit loud in places, and it was constant, like 24/7. That was one of the big. We sent a 4 pages of feedback to the company because they asked us for it, and I got a lovely note from the CEO, Chris Ivey, thanking us for all that. I didn't realize he was going to see it. I sent it to our representative, and he personally wrote back to us. And trust me, they have a long list of things that they have been addressing on the fly. Like we saw things changing on the fly as we were there. So if you're going on it, if you're still going on it within the next month or two, cut them a little bit of slack because they're still getting the processes. They know a lot of the things that they need to address, and they're trying to address them as quickly as possible. But one of the big things that I commented on was, you have music 24/7, and sometimes it's loud. When we're on a cruise ship, sometimes we just want to listen to the ocean. You just want to sit out there. You want to listen to the ocean go by, and it's hard. It's actually hard to do on that ship, at least when we were on it.
And even the music in the hallways, which is not loud.
Yeah.
If depending on your level of hearing, can be a little distracting when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of it, but I got to say the retail. I met the head of retail, or the woman who did the retail, and oh my gosh, she did a beautiful. It was totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. I came in with a preconceived notion. I'll admit with that everything was just going to be kitschy and cheap and silly. There's some beautiful stuff on there. Even the Margaritaville branded material. There is some beautiful stuff on that ship. So yeah, you're going to be very surprised. If you're somebody who likes to shop, you're going to be very surprised. The casino, non-smoking. The entire casino is non-smoking.
Yay.
Rebecca likes that. It's mainly, I have an interview with JV, who is the head of casino operations on the ship. He said primarily because the ceiling is just so low that it would just make a very uncomfortable situation for their employees. So I applaud him for that. And just overall, folks, the Margaritaville at Sea experience is amazing. They're already looking at more ships. I don't know if I'm permitted to say how many more ships are coming because I heard a number that really surprised me.
And we heard different numbers from different
We
people.
did hear different numbers from different people, but I heard the same number from 2 executives, and I went, wow, you guys are serious about this. So, folks, the Islander is just the first of the new fleet. There is a whole fleet of ships coming with a whole series of itineraries that are planned. Taylor has some amazing ideas for itineraries. He just needs the ships to do it. And it sounds like the ships may be coming. So now I will be going on with. I'm going to come back to your questions. What I'm trying to say. I don't know what the heck I'm trying to say. So John is saying that it sounds like they really listen to travel professionals and customer reviews for the Islander, which is awesome. Paradise still getting some rough reviews. Hope they bring it up to speed. I mean, the Islander, the Paradise was starting from a handicap. She was not treated well, and she was not renovated well by the original owners. So yes, and there's only so much you can do with a ship that small and that old without literally just gutting the entire thing. So Margaritaville, they know about that ship. They have been improving that ship. I can tell you the future is going to be the Islander forward for sure. Not saying that the Paradise is going away. They have no intention of getting rid of the Paradise, but the Paradise kind of is what it is. So Rick, I did see, I need to read up on that Princess doubling. I don't know if it's just automatically doubling everything. I think it's for specific bookings. And I need to go back and read all the language because there was a lot of language in there, but I don't know that it's just double points starting in September. I think it's double points for specific bookings made within a certain window, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that for sure. Hey, Chuck and Mary. Yes, it is good that they're listening. Debbie, Charleston is closing at the end of 2024. Yep. And then ships will be able to visit. So like
so no home porting.
Right. No home porting, but the Brilliant Lady will be visiting, I believe it's October, September of 2025. So, how do I feel about the Carnival Vista going on in a couple of days? Oh, she's a fun class. The Vista class is really, really fun. She is a fun class of ship. You've got the Havana Cabana on there. Of course, you got Guy's Burgers. You've got the Sky Pedal thing, whatever, up on top. And is the Vista the one that just got that just went in for dry dock?
I think so.
Yeah, I think the Vista is the one that just came out of dry dock. I always get confused between the Horizon and the Vista, but yeah, so she was looking great. She's got the new blue livery, and I know she got some things updated inside. So yeah, you should have a fabulous, fabulous time. Pretty TK, how are you? Texas man, are we cruise booking only? No, great question. Thank you for asking. We are, we're a full service travel agency. So we do land tours, expedition, cruises, luxury, you name it. We do everything up to private jets. We can get you private jets. We can get you private ground transportation. We have some amazing land partners, or we can just put together a custom, one-off. We're working with a client right now that's going to Argentina for, what is she going there for, like 20 some days or something like that. And because of what she wants to do, there is no land tour that's going to do it. So we're putting together the flights, the hotels, the resorts, the tours, and everything. It's taking some time to put together, but we're putting together the whole thing from scratch. So yeah, we really do book everything. Thank you so much for asking. If we can help you in any way, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com, or click the links there on TikTok. And those of you watching YouTube and everywhere else, there should be links in the description, or just simply click my profile. That will help out. Alex asked, what are the plans for the new ship at Margaritaville at Sea? I will let Taylor answer that. Taylor has a lot of great a lot of great answers for that, but there are new ships coming. Taylor has some really wonderful itineraries up his sleeve. I will post that video tomorrow or Tuesday, but they do have a lot of plans, and I don't want to take that out. And then Alex asked a great question. How was the meeting with Tony and Jenny from Lalita Loca? If you didn't see the pictures, we shot no video. We didn't do anything. Tony has become a good friend of ours. We met Tony through unfortunate circumstances when we lost Sean Mullen. We met up at Sean's funeral, and we become good friends. And this is our first time meeting Jenny. So we had the opportunity to have breakfast with them on that off day between the two cruises, because Tony and Jenny live in the Tampa area. Jenny is one of my heroes. She's an amazing travel advisor. So it was awesome to be able to spend some time with her. So yeah, we had a good, 2.5, 3 hours. It was just a nice, long, casual breakfast. It's nice when you just put the cameras away and you just chat. I mean, yeah, I got some pictures with them, but that was about it. Tony is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. And it's just interesting. He's such a quiet guy. He comes off with his whole thing, on camera, but he is such a quiet, he is a most lovely person. And Jenny, it was so awesome to meet Jenny in person. So yeah, we had a great time meeting up with them in Tampa. So if you ever see Tony on a ship, definitely say hello. Super nice guy. Sandy and Coco, good morning. Horace, you need some info about the MSC Seashore Yacht Club. Also, what is the best yacht club floor? So I don't know what info you need about the yacht club. The Seashore has one of the largest yacht clubs out there outside of the World Series, World class of ships. In terms of which is your best floor, I mean, some people like to be on the deck that has the dining room. Some people like to be on the deck that has the pool. I think there's 3 decks, if I'm not mistaken. I know there's 2. There might be a third one that has like some yacht club in it as well. That just depends on what you want when you walk out of your cabin. There really is no best floor. It's just what do you want when you come out of the cabin, for sure. Mike, you got offered a Spa Cove balcony upgrade on the Celebration for November sailing. Looks like a good deal. We have a Cove balcony on the brand new Sun Princess. We've seen the Cove balcony on other videos. And we're like, this looks kind of cool. So we're going to do it on the Sun Princess. That'll be our first time. The Cove balcony, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, they're actually below the lifeboats. So they're down on deck 6. So you're almost on the water line down there. And they're called a cove because they're kind of a protected balcony. So when you step out, the steel of the ship, it's almost like a cove. You're walking out. And so there may not be as much of a breeze in the balcony. But we're trying it out because it's so close to the water line. It looks so freaking cool. It really does. Samuel says he's been on the Vista class numerous times. Highly recommends getting a room in the Havana area. That's what we have heard too. In fact, people who have been in the Havana Cabana on the Vista class and the XL class much prefer the Vista class because you've got a real pool. You've got a larger area. I tend to agree with them, although the Havana bar is ridiculous. Pretty TK, today is your 45-day mark till your Valiant Lady cruise. So dining.
Yep,
Woohoo! Get your dining reservation
You
in.
got all your dining.
Woohoo! Hey Joyce, how you doing? Lara, what's the best cruise for solo cruisers? That all depends on what you're looking for. It's no different than a couple going out on a cruise. We have quite a few different cruise lines to choose from. It depends on one, where do you want to go? What time of year do you want to go? Where do you want to sail from? And then we have to look at, the various ships that are available because, just because a ship may not have a specific solo cabin, doesn't mean that we can't necessarily find you a good deal. Like we might find you a decent deal on a ship that you want to go on. Like Margaritaville Islander, I think they're still doing it. They were doing like actual solo pricing. I need to go back and see if they still are. But it's the same answer as anything else. We send solo cruisers literally all over the world. I have one client in particular. She goes everywhere. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if it's a solo cabin, not a solo cabin. This is where I want to go. Find me the best deal that's going to take me here. We send her to Norway. We're sending her to Europe. We're sending her to the Caribbean. We're sending her all over the place. So it's the same answers. Just reach out if you'd like some help. The interesting thing is there are a lot of deals out there that you may not know about, or it might not even be a deal. It's just a better cruise. And like Royal Caribbean, for example, has 230-ish solo cabins throughout the fleet. You just need to know where they are. So we can always look for those as well. So I would say, just reach out. I know it can be tough because, as a solo person, you're like looking through all these cruise lines and looking through all this stuff. And we've done a lot of that research already. We kind of know where to go. Once we know where you want to go and what ships are available, we kind of know where to go to find you a pretty decent solo deal. So pretty TK. Oh, that's right. It is your first cruise. I can't imagine. That's going to be amazing. MG, what about the food on board? What was the best? What was the worst? I assume you're talking about the Margaritaville. And so the best, I would say the best was, man, that last dinner, man, we had some chicken. I had I had some chicken and a cauliflower soup. And Eric, the VP of Food and Beverage, told me, he goes, when you had that cauliflower soup, I'm telling you, I'm really proud of that recipe. It had some lime in it and stuff. It was really good. And the chicken that I had that night was really, really, really good. And I'm not lying, man. Cheeseburger in paradise and the pizza. Excellent. Among my least favorites,
How about the buffet?
Yeah, well, the buffet was just uninspiring. The buffet was uninspiring.
Although I will say at lunchtime, next to Frank and Lola's Pizza, which is in the one section of the buffet area, they had these cakes.
Yeah.
Next to that, I didn't like the frosting, but the cake and the filling itself was really good.
Yeah, they actually had some good desserts on there in the buffet. So that I would say that was my least, the buffet. But then again, Norwegian is not very inspiring for me, and neither was Carnival. So yeah, I would say that. Yeah, but you've seen my videos, So yeah. SK, are there any cruises that have all drinks included? Yeah, luxury cruise lines. Certain luxury cruise lines, like Oceania, Viking, things like that. Like Oceania has beer, wine, champagne included with lunch and dinner automatically. Then you can upgrade from there. Viking, I think, has all the drinks included.
Yeah, basically
it's basically the luxury lines. Yeah, it's basically the luxury lines that are going to do it.
Even there, some of them it only may be with meals, and there may be an option to upgrade, or it may only be a certain level of drinks, and then you have to upgrade to get a higher level.
Yeah.
So.
Bananarama, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Did MSC get rid of its pre-cruise purchase of 1 or 2 specialty dining packages? I know there are dining packages on there. I haven't looked. I think the ones I've seen are like 3-night packages, but I don't know. I haven't looked lately. Maybe, but I have not looked lately. So I want to take a look.
I don't overly enjoy about the MSC dining packages is they're pretty restrictive.
Yeah, they are.
You're not buying like say 1 or 2 meals. You're buying meals in specific restaurants.
Yeah. So that we didn't do it. We actually ended up buying a 3-meal package on the seaside once we got on the ship. Because it was the Pan Asian package. So it was sushi, the Pan Asian restaurant, and the teppanyaki. we really enjoyed that. We really enjoyed that a lot. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Good morning, Michelle. Pretty TK, on your stop at Bimini with Virgin Voyages, you want to use the sailor loop for an excursion. Can I book when I'm on board? And thank you, Pretty TK, for that. A reminder that if you want to ask a question about Virgin Voyages on TikTok, you must use VV. Do not use the word Virgin. That's not us blocking it. That is TikTok blocking it. Yes, you can use the sailor loop for an excursion, but you must book it while you're on board the ship. You cannot do it in advance.
That there may be limited availability. So
yeah.
Make that a very early stop.
Yeah. So it's possible, like if the excursion is still showing up in your app, then you're good. But as soon as you get on the ship, go directly to they're right next to the Get Lost desk. I want to say it's deck 6, deck 7, maybe deck 7. I think it's deck 7, right next to the walkway. Hey, Lara, how are you? So good to see you. Wanda, if you can't go on a cruise that you have booked, can you transfer the money to someone else? Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to say for the most part, the answer is no. In fact, you can't even transfer the cruise to anyone else except on Virgin Voyages. Most of the cruise lines, if not all of the cruise lines, require at least one person from the original booking to be in that cabin on the day that it sails, except Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages, you can swap out all the passengers in the cabin if you want to.
Up to 48 hours before sailing.
Yeah, up to 48 hours before sailing. So, good morning from Charlotte. Hey, Douglas, how are you? Cup of coffee acquired. Good. 172 days to the Silhouette seems too far away. You got a Carnival Casino offer. So I have access for those if you wanted to book something. We do. We typically don't really touch the casino offers because I'll be flat out honest. There's absolutely nothing. There's zero commission for us on a casino offer. So with the casino offers, I mean, that's just the cruise line taking business away from us, to be quite honest with you. So we can access them, but there is literally zero commission for a travel agent to take a casino offer. So, I mean, if you just want to go ahead and book that directly, that's what I would recommend, to be honest with you. Not to be rude, but I mean, it's just basically, casinos department are a sore spot for me, only because I had I'm not going to say the name of the cruise line, but 5 months after we booked a client, we had a casino department from that cruise line take away a suite from us. Like literally came in. They're not supposed to do that, but once it was done, the cruise line said there was nothing they could do about it. So we typically don't touch the casino bookings. Yeah. So let's see. Have we seen an inspiring buffet? Oh yeah. Not Carnival. Celebrity has an excellent buffet. Princess has an excellent buffet. Oceana. Oh my God, Oceana. I'll tell you what, does this inspire you? So on the Oceana Serena, every night at dinner, we had made to order lobster, shrimp, sirloin steak, catch of the day, plus lamb chops. That pretty much inspired me. Plus on the pool grill, we had surf and turf sandwiches every single day. Yeah, that's pretty doggone inspiring if you ask me. So yes, we have seen inspiring buffets. But those are the ones, if anybody asks us who has a good buffet, we generally say Celebrity, Princess are the two mainstream. The galley on Virgin is usually pretty good as well. But those are like the 3 or 4. So yeah. Barbara, how do you book excursion for the Oceana Riviera? Well, on Oceana, the excursions open approximately 365 days before the sailing. So if you're talking about the Alaska cruise that's coming up next year, that's on the 26th, so they should open up next week sometime. But that's not an exact number.
And it may only be some excursions open up, and more will
open up later. Yeah. So they'll be open. They should open up this coming week. Hey, Kendall, how are you? Enjoy Grand Cayman. Oh, what a great island. Have so much fun. Jada, how do you avoid excess cell phone charges while on a cruise? Well, number one, when you're on the ship, you go to airplane mode and you use WhatsApp or any other app besides actually using cellular. Now here's the thing, folks. If you leave your phone on, there is now maritime cellular on all of the ships, and your phone will just boom. It'll just say, hey, look, I've got cellular. And you will come home with a $500 to a $1,000 cell bill if you just leave that thing running. So when you're on the ship itself, make sure you're in airplane mode. and then use use a Wi-Fi app to make your calls. Now, a lot of phones will work calls over Wi-Fi. I've had it work, I've had it not work on the same exact cruise line. So I don't know what the rhyme or reason is that sometimes it works. Number two, like we have T-Mobile. T-Mobile allows us to get quite a bit of data for free in all of the cruise ports, and now they just added some phone service in Mexico?
Mexico and Canada?
Yeah,
Might
so
be Mexico. I don't know.
So like Mexico and Canada, we can make phone calls. And then anywhere else in like 175 countries, it's like 25 cents a minute for us to make calls. But the data part is included. So, and I know AT&T, if you folks are on AT&T, they do have actual cruise ship plans now. But we've been using T-Mobile for quite some time. So, let's see. N. Halstead, our recent Islander cruise worth it to an experienced Royal Cruiser or stay away? So you just need to be open to the fact that this is not Royal Caribbean, right? Royal Caribbean spend gazillions of dollars on their entertainment and on their ships and everything else. This is more on par with a Carnival experience, just in terms of the ship itself. The ship is fun. If you're open to fun and you like the price point that the Margaritaville Islander is, then yes, you should absolutely go on it. But if you go on it and you're ready to compare everything to Royal Caribbean, don't go on it, because it's not Royal Caribbean. It's its own thing. It's fun. The shows don't come close. The shows are good, but the shows don't come close to Royal Caribbean because they don't spend $10 million, $20 million on every single show like Royal Caribbean had. They don't have all the technology. That's the thing. This ship feels like a ship. All right, she's 24 years old. She's a nautical ship, has a lovely crew, has good food, has great drinks, and just a fun atmosphere. And that's what the ship is. It's more just about a laid back attitude on the ship. It's not about let's have something to do all the time. However, the schedule was jam packed all day long with games and events and all of that. If you like a non-smoking casino, you're going to love the Margaritaville Casino on the ship, because the entire casino is non-smoking. And you're also saying that the Royal Buffet is good. The Royal Caribbean Buffet is good. It's not the most exciting for us. Again, you're not going to go hungry on it. But
certainly better than
it's
Norwegian
far better.
Or Carnival.
Yeah, it's far better than Norwegian or Carnival, and it is better than the Islander. But it's not what I would call inspiring. The Celebrity and Princess have amazing buffets. So, Samantha. Jen Queen, you're going to do casino bookings? Yeah, Jen. I see. Yeah. Kalis, what are your thoughts on the Margaritaville? Well, we've been talking about the Margaritaville Islander all day, and I see Irene over here is asking if it's more of a party ship. So we got two questions. What do I think of the Islander, and do I think it's more of a party ship than Carnival? So we were on Carnival for 7 nights. And I don't consider Carnival a party ship at all. I just consider it, when you go on a 3 or 4 night cruise, every cruise line is a party ship. We saw that on Virgin. We saw that on Royal Caribbean. We saw that on Carnival. So I think the Margaritaville is a chill, laid back vibe. What I did not see on the Islander that we have seen on Carnival is people just flat out drunk, can't stand up, can't walk. We have seen a few of those people who imbibe a little bit too far on Carnival. We've
seen a few on most every cruise.
Yeah, I didn't really see that. Not to say it wasn't there, but we didn't really see it. But we saw a lot of people having fun on the Carnival. What really surprised me on the Islander, here's what really surprised me. So I talked about that craft bar, a really slick, beautiful hemisphere dancer craft bar. And typically, like a craft bar like that, people are going to shy away from it because automatically you're like, oh, this is going to cost money. It's going to cost money. The mix of people who were hanging out there was so much fun. That's what really impressed me. There was a really neat mix of different people, different backgrounds on the Islander, and everybody was just kind of hanging out. Everybody was just kind of hanging out, chilling, relaxing, and I think that's what impressed me the most. I did not see it as a party cruise. There is a specific nightclub that doesn't even start up till 11:30 at night. So if you really want to party hard, you go down to hot. You are literally going down to hell in there.
And I will say, Walter and I are not usually up super late. So the parties may have started just after we were already in the cabin.
Yeah, and there were a lot of parties going on during the day too, and in the evenings and whatnot. But I don't see it as more of a party ship than anybody else. I mean, the party ships are 3 and 4 nights. Every 3 or 4 night cruise is going to be much more of a party ship than cruises that are longer. So like if you take a 6 or 7 night on the Islander, it's going to be a chill, but the ship was very chill. The only thing, they had the live band out at the pool during the day, and it's just so flipping loud. It's just much louder than it needs to be. It's like they're running the concert sound like it's an outdoor concert, but you're in a small space. And that was one of our notes to the folks. It's like you really don't need. I think Virgin Voyages does the absolute best sound mix. Celebrity does a really nice sound mix out by the pool. It's like you can hear the music, the band is playing, but it's not so loud that you can't have a conversation next to you. So if you want to dance to the music, you can. But if you just want to have a conversation, yeah, we just have a conversation. So that was one of really the only negatives that I took off of the Margaritaville, was that there was just a little too much music and it was a little too loud at times where you just want to chill and have a conversation. So it was a lot of fun. Alex is saying, you sailed MSC a month ago. You're able to book several specialty dining packages. You had the 5+ dining package, so you get sushi and hibachi. He said it was very worth it. So somebody asking about the dining packages, he had a great time. Tara, is Margaritaville at Sea going to create an app similar to the other cruise line? I don't know, but we're just waiting for them to fix the booking engine. Don't do anything else, but fix the booking engine for those of us who are travel advisors. Then they can do anything they want. I would suspect that an app would be down the line, but I don't think that's very high on their radar right now.
Yeah, I think
they don't need it. Yeah, they've got so many other things that they need to work on right now. If you've looked at the public website, like if you haven't been to their public website, say in the last 2 or 3 weeks, you'll be shocked when you go back because they've added so much to the public website. So they're really doing a good job there. We're just waiting for them to give us some love on the travel agent side with the bookings. Just so you know, Margaritaville has been setting booking records like crazy since the ship came out. And so they are swamped over there. And right now, for us to make bookings, we literally have to call in to the travel agent side, which takes a lot more time than it really needs to. So that's kind of why we're waiting on that's why we're kind of waiting on that right now. So let's see. Good morning, Carnival Horizon. This coming Sunday, did they repair the fire damage? I don't know offhand. I would check John Heald's Facebook page. John Heald is the spokesperson for Carnival, and he has a great Facebook page. I would check on that page. I would also just check Cruise Hive. Is a great news website to see what they have to say. I don't know offhand. I haven't kept up with that. I'm very sorry. Another question about the double cruise credits on Princess. Now the promo is great. I mean, I know there's a promo. I know there's from what I remember just reading it, there is a booking window that if you book within this window, you're going to get double cruise points. Some people are saying, hey, what do you think about it starting in September? I don't know that it's a permanent thing. I think it's just a specific booking window. So I just need to take a look at that and see. But it's a great deal. I mean, if you're booking on Princess, who doesn't want double points? You get to move up the chain a little bit faster. I think it's absolutely fabulous.
As with any promotion like that, it's, click on there's going to be a link somewhere to the terms and conditions. Because it'll be long and it may be difficult to slog through, but that will have your answers. Like, for example, the Royal Caribbean, their kids sail free thing. People get very excited about that. But if you actually read the terms and conditions, they have many, many times where that's excluded from the bookings, and coincidentally that happens to be the time most kids are out of school. There you go.
John is going to your grandparents' 70th wedding anniversary. Oh, say happy anniversary for us. Everybody wish John's grandparents a happy 70th wedding anniversary. He needs to leave the show and go there. Have a fabulous time, John. I can't wait till we get to meet up in October. Oh, that's amazing. Give him a hug for us. That's awesome, John. Thanks for sharing. Nurse Tara, you're very welcome. Always happy to help out. Natasha, your grandson is going to visit you in Florida in August from Montreal, thinking of a short cruise. So keep in mind what I was just saying. A 3 and 4 night cruise is going to be a party ship. So the mindset, there's going to be sometimes a very large subset on the cruise. I'm on this ship for 3 nights. I've got the drinks package, and I'm going to get all I can because I'm only here for 3 nights. So it's basically a Las Vegas weekend for that subset of people. So you have to be aware that a 3 or 4 night cruise is different than, say, a 7-night cruise, where people kind of pace themselves. They know they don't have to get it all done in 2 or 3 nights. So personally, I'm always leery of the 2 or 3 night cruises, or 3 or 4 night cruises, unless you're very aware that this could be a party thing. Now, in terms of which one to take, so some of your options are going to be.
It depends on the age of your grandson and
Yeah.
what they're interested in.
Yeah. So I don't know how old your grandson is, but basically your options are going to be Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, Margaritaville, and Virgin Voyages if they're 18 or over. Celebrity. So you've got a couple of choices in there that basically do like those 3 and 4s. So it all depends on where you're going to sail out of, how old the grandson is, and what the grandson would like to get, with the understanding that you could, if you go on a 3 or 4 night cruise, you will be among a subset that are there to party. So that changes the dynamic of a cruise when you're on a 3. I'm not saying everybody does it, and I'm not saying the whole ship is a party ship, but you will run into a subset of people throughout your cruise that they are just there to party hard. They're there to party hard, and that is why they're on the ship.
And 2 other things to be aware of. If your grandson is a Canadian citizen, the documentation you'll need to get on the ship they'll probably have to have a passport, which
they're going to need to get a passport to get in.
Yeah, but so the documentation's a little differently. And if they're under 18, you will need documentation allowing you to make decisions for the grandson from the parents, and to take them out of the country. So you need some documentation if they're under 18.
If they're under, yeah. Pretty TK, you going on a Valiant Lady with your daughter? Any shows really adult? Didn't know how to ask. I mean, that just it depends on what you consider adult. I know some people were embarrassed by the Diva show. I think the Diva show is hilarious. So they got rid of Never Sleep Alone. That wasn't really a very good show. So I don't really know what you consider adult. I don't know. I think all the shows are fun on there. It's just the Diva shows, really. Like Bingo with the Diva. I mean, she's raunchy. She's very raunchy in that show, but she's hilarious. So
I wouldn't, but not offensive. Well, for me. So, it depends on your level of what you find adult.
Yeah. And what you find embarrassing.
I mean, perhaps there are some things your daughter might enjoy if she wasn't with you, but might be embarrassed if she is with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and hey, folks, I'll just remind you, if you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor with Where's Walter Travel. The voice you keep hearing off camera is my lovely wife, Rebecca. We book your cruises, your land tours, luxury, expedition. We do it all, and if we can help you in any way, our services are 100% free to you. We do not charge any kind of planning fees, this fee, cancellation fee. We don't charge anything like that at all. Just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com or TikTok. You go into that link tree, you'll find a contact us page, or if you're watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you go into the description. There are probably links down there. What we do is we set up an intake call. So we chat, I give you a shout, we talk, and then Rebecca does a lot of research, and we put together a proposal together to present for you guys. So that's how it works. So we can help you. Just reach out.
Oh, and the grandson's 13. What sort of forms you will need from the parents will depend on the cruise line.
Yeah.
Because different cruise lines have different forms that they want you to have filled out.
I would encourage, whether you use us or another travel advisor. In this particular case, I would advise you to use a travel advisor so we can try to help get you the answers, so there are no surprises. The worst thing that could possibly happen is you show up at the cruise port, you don't have the right documentation, they will not let you on the ship. They flat out will not let you on the ship, and we don't want that to happen. So obviously we would love to help you if we could, but like just in KHM Travel Group, of which I am a part of, there's about 5,300 of us. There are a lot of really good travel advisors out there. I would definitely advise you, 1, to pick the right ship, just make sure you're getting the right ship, and 2, to make sure that you're getting the right information so we can get all that travel documentation all set up so you and your grandson can have a great time, because that'll be fabulous. Jack said he's hesitant to book a cruise due to the deck chair cluster that exists. It is ridiculous. I agree with you, but it is, it's not nearly as bad as you might think. What you have to remember, social media, cruise critic, public forums, social media forums, what do people do 85% of the time? They complain and they complain and they make it sound like you're going to go 7 nights and you will never see a deck chair. Every deck chair is just taken by the chair hogs. It's not like that at all. Yes, there are issues with chair hogs. And yes, the cruise lines are starting to do something about it. We saw it on Princess, on the Sky Princess. We saw we saw it on Celebrity. We saw them taking stuff off the chair and moving it out of the way. Yes, there is something called chair hogs, and we all hate them. We do hate them. If you're watching and you're a chair hog, yeah, I know it's strong language, but that is just not right. You should not take a chair unless you're actually going to sit there. So if that's what's discouraging you from booking a cruise, that really is the wrong thing from discouraging you from booking a cruise. It's an annoyance is all it is. That is not a showstopper by any means. We have been now on 11 different cruise lines. And if you don't want chair hogs, well, then you go on a cruise line that has a lot more chairs in places that you can get to them. Now, look, when you go on a family cruise line, say a Carnival, a Royal Caribbean, say a Margaritaville at Sea, Norwegian, there are people who just could grab all these chairs because. But when you go on a more mature one, say Celebrity, Princess, Holland, or go on Oceania, something like that, it's not that much of a problem. So
it does still happen. But
it's an annoyance. It's really.
Honestly, if you see some chair that has been sitting there vacant for an hour, go tell a pool attendant.
Yeah, they'll take the stuff away. They're starting to do that now. It's supposed to be 20 or 30 minutes. And if you don't come back in 20 or 30 minutes,
I think it's usually 30 or 40.
Yeah, something like that. Because they know that you might put the stuff down, go to the buffet, and come back. But if you see something sitting there for a while, just do it. Oh, hey, and Becky's got a great point over here. There's chair hogs at resorts as well. And that's very true. You go to a resort and you see all these chairs all marked out. So, yeah, take the cruise. Take the cruise, she said. Yanny boys on the Sun Princess. We will be there in October. Have a great time. Take care of it. I hope you have a fabulous time. I'm excited to do Spellbound, and I'm also excited to do Dario's. I'm doing Dario's without Rebecca because she doesn't eat meat, so it's just going to be me.
I mean, technically they have a vegetarian menu, but...
Why would you go to Dario's for vegetarian? That just doesn't seem right at all.
Yeah, I decided it wasn't worth my time.
Yeah. Red Dog's going on the Carnival Vista in October. That's amazing. Colette's heading to Ireland on Thursday for your father's 100th birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Colette's father. 100 in Ireland. That sounds amazing, Colette. Gosh, we've talked about that for quite a while. I can't believe it's finally here. That's so exciting. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Please show the pictures. Please show the pictures. Yeah, so, okay, Natasha, so we did catch up with you. So out of Lauderdale or Miami, so yeah, you got a lot of choices out of there. Please do reach out. Please do reach out. We would be more than happy to assist with the cruise. And again, our services are free. TZ, what do we think about 17 to 21-year-olds on Margaritaville? Much to do for them, 5 to 6 nights. We were told that in international waters, 18-year-olds can play in the casino. That's what we were told in the casino. So the casino opens up for 18 plus. Definitely an arcade. Definitely they've got the hangout. We didn't really go through much of the hangout and all of that stuff.
That's teen club.
Well, there's 4. Well, they said 17. Well, that's true. They're older.
Only 17.
Yeah.
The 17-year-old would be able to use the teen club, but once you hit 18,
yeah, you can't. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's different than going on, say, a Carnival ship. Now they only have the one water slide on the back, so there is that. It's not like they have all these different water slides and all of that to do. But I mean, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's very family friendly during the day. Tons of family friendly stuff going on. Far side of the world. And other places. Trivia games, competitions going on. So, I mean, if they like pools, if they like hanging out, if they can entertain themselves, plus they have the arcade, yeah, I think there's plenty to do on there. Yeah. Plus cheeseburgers all day, all night. Oh my God, not all night, but cheeseburgers and pizza, and good pizza too. Mr. T, how you doing? We probably already talked about it, but the good, the bad, the ugly on your last cruise. You just joined the live. So we have done quite a bit of content on there. So the rooms were amazing. We had the breezy balcony, the extended balcony on the Margaritaville Islander. On paper, they look the same. When you look at the deck plan, they look the same. The room itself is the same, but the balcony is twice as deep on the extended balcony. So I do recommend those if you want them. The public spaces, the ship was renovated beautifully, absolutely beautifully. Now there are warts on her. Okay, she's a 24-year-old ship. Some doors weren't working correctly. Some other things weren't working correctly. They did have issues with the food temperatures in the beginning, but that got better over the 6 nights that we were on the ship. They were very well aware of it and were working on it. You know, there's things that are going to break and not perform the way you expect them to once you stress the systems. And you don't stress the systems until you put 1,800 to 2,000 people on a ship that has not been used for a while. The toilet issue, we already talked about that. They did a full system cleaning on the transatlantic, and it was taking, they needed the system to run for a while for it to clear itself out. So that's clearing itself out. The crew was among the best, just the most friendly. Okay. They don't know everything yet. They're still figuring out the ship. They haven't been on that long. They couldn't answer some of our questions. They got things wrong, but they were so incredibly friendly. The bars were a little bit up and down. They're still learning. All the systems there. There are 13 margaritas on the ship. There are 13 bars, and each one has their own margarita. So I didn't find that out until like day 5. I wish I'd have known that sooner. Really the only the biggest negative for us was, some of the food was a little bit cold, but the fact that some of the music was really intrusive. They like having music on the ship, but sometimes it's just a little bit overly loud. And at times that it didn't need to be, like at 11 o'clock at night up by the pool, didn't need to be that loud, 11 o'clock at night up by the pool. But we gave them a lot of feedback. What I love about them is like, they're owning up to everything. They're not just saying, well, this is why we intended to do that. It's like, okay, that's good feedback. Their team was hanging out. The sales team, the home office team was hanging out at guest services during the cruises. I think they're still there, at least for like the first month. They're in there listening directly to the customers. They're talking directly to the customers, getting the feedback, and they are acting on feedback very quickly. Like they're not waiting. They're not even waiting for the ship to come back in. If there's something that they can do on the ship right now that addresses all of this feedback that we just got, they're doing it right now. I'd say give the ship about a month to shake itself out, to get everything up and running. And we're excited. We're going back in September, October. So I'm really excited to see where the ship is then compared to when we first got on it. Natasha, you're a Gold Star widow. Oh, man. Wow. Can we book a military discount? Now, that depends on the cruise line. Some cruise lines will do discounts. Other cruise lines will do onboard credit.
We would have to check on, because whether it's for the service member, right, or also their family.
Right. A lot of times it's just for the service member, not for the family itself. So we would just have to check the rules of the individual cruise lines. But
we can do the bookings.
Yeah, no, we can absolutely do the bookings, but it just depends on the rules of the individual cruise line. So Danielle, hey, how are you, Danielle? Good to see you. You love the Diva. So the Diva is one of the more unique aspects of Virgin Voyages. There is nothing like the Diva. Absolutely freaking amazing. So that's awesome. Bembridge over troubled waters. That's hilarious. You're going on to Celebrity Beyond in September. Recommendation for the ABC Island best beaches and resorts. Well, we know that Bonaire has some of the best snorkeling in the world. So if you're into snorkeling, that's absolutely amazing. In terms of best beaches, I wouldn't even know what to recommend, like a specific beach. I don't have a Rolodex of that in my head. If anybody else has just recently been to the ABC Islands and you can give advice for a beach, I don't keep that. We keep a lot of this information like in our office so we can remember it when we go in and find it. But I know that Bonaire has some of the best snorkeling in the world. I'm trying to remember, was Aruba? Aruba was a while ago. I'm trying to remember what we did.
Yeah, I think it was a short stop for us.
That's right. It was a short stop. I think we just kind of walked up and saw, yeah. And Curacao.
That was an unexpected stop.
Right. That was the Hurricane Irma cruise. So we went to Curacao, and that was not a planned stop. That was a new stop, and we ended up walking into town, and that was beautiful. Oh, it was so lovely just to walk around town. So I don't have off the top of my head any particular beaches and whatnot, but I can tell you Bonaire has some of the best snorkeling in the world, and you definitely would want to do that. Again, if anybody
Well,
else
at
has
least
recommendations
best
for the
snorkeling in the
ABC Islands, what?
At least some of the best snorkeling in the Caribbean.
Yeah, in the Caribbean. And if anybody is watching has ideas for the ABC Island, please go ahead and drop them in. We'll pass them along. Betty, Betty, you're going to be reaching out for an Avalon versus Emerald River cruise on the Rhine. I know that. I'll tell you what, 25, 26, that's right in the range we're going to be doing it. So I cannot wait. So we will be talking about it. Pretty TK, do we help book Universal Studios vacation packages? Yeah, great question. We do. We do Universal. We do Disney as well. So, and Universal, depending on when you're coming, Epic is coming next year. Now, what's interesting about Epic, originally they said something like summer of 2025. Now they're just saying 25. So people are speculating maybe it's going to be more towards the spring because they are making tremendous progress on Epic Universe. They just announced the Dark Universe. Oh my God. See, Barbara's saying Curacao has an absolutely gorgeous beach, just can't remember the name of it. See, that's why we have lists of things in our office. So yeah, Bembridge, I'm not thinking of one offhand where to go to. But again, snorkeling in Bonaire would be freaking amazing. And Cole is saying they had amazing snorkeling in Honduras as well. Thank you so much for that. Cole is going on the Lure of the Seas in September. That's amazing. That is so awesome. I'll tell you what, the ships are just so much fun. And, if you're just tuning in, we've been talking about the Margaritaville on and off all day, the new Margaritaville at Sea Islander. She was everything we expected her to be and more. That's actually where I got this. The crew was just fabulous. Now, she needs time to get her sea legs under her, if you will. That was our first time actually sailing out under a bridge. That was super cool to be standing up. The first time we went out, I was right under the funnel. And that was actually kind of freaky because it looked like the funnel was about to be chopped off. I was actually told by folks who live in Tampa area, and I guess I'll have to go back and look this up, but there have been times when it has rained a lot. Like there have been deluge with rains and the ships actually can't get back in. They have to wait for the tides to go down a little bit to get back out. But it's a very interesting sailaway in Tampa, unlike anything that I've ever experienced, that it's once you pull away from the port, it's almost 2.5 hours until you get to the bridge. It is a long, long, long channel and a very slow ride until you get to the bridge. So it's almost like a double sail away, right? You have the sail away, you push off, you're starting out, and then everybody gets excited as you approach the bridge. And it was really neat the second time, because the first time we went out, it had poured down rain, so not a lot of people came up. But the second time, it was actually rather lovely. And there were all these people way out on the front. I was like in the middle of the ship, and then there were people in the back, and it was almost like a wave of sound. People just going, ah, as we went underneath, and the sound just traveled all the way back through the ship. It was almost like a wave going through the ship as we went under. That was really cool. The only thing I regret, I could not wake up at 3 a.m. on the way back. I wanted to see what it looked like with the bridge all lit up. It's supposed to be gorgeous at night with the bridge all lit up. I wanted to see the bridge when we came back under. I didn't wake up until about 6, I think. So I totally missed it. Vicky, going on your first cruise in 3 weeks. Welcome to the cruise family. Cheers. Welcome to the cruise family. Once you get started, you're never going to go back. I'm telling you. I've told this story before, but I flat out did not want to go on my first cruise. This was back in 2006. Did not want to go on my first cruise. And Rebecca, it was for our 10th wedding anniversary. And I was excited when we booked it, and then I didn't want to go. And then finally, Rebecca was like, well, I'm going. You can either go or you can stay home. I was like, fine. And it was a 14-night cruise. Now, that was the thing. Rebecca doesn't go halfway. Our first cruise is a 14-night back-to-back, 7 nights Eastern, 7-night Western.
I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do.
So she booked both. And we were on the Caribbean Princess. We had an aft balcony overlooking the wake. And, she's like, well, I'm going. You can go. You can stay home. I was like, fine, whatever. Let's just go get this over with. We'll take a cruise. We'll never do one again. And like 2 nights into it, we booked like 2 more cruises. We haven't looked back. I fell in love with it literally the first night. I was like, this is amazing. And I woke up the next morning and I'm looking at it as awake and I'm like, this is amazing. And we've just never stopped. So now we're 11 cruise lines in. Hopefully by the end of this year, maybe next year, we'll have 12 or 13 cruise lines in. So we just enjoy seeing all of the cruise lines. So Nurse Tara says she loves sailing under the bridges in Baltimore. I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, I mean, they actually have an opportunity to make, you know, the Golden, the Francis Scott Key Bridge higher if they wanted to, but then you still got the Chesapeake Bay Bridge out there that would have to be lifted if they wanted to do that. I'm going to be very curious to see if they just simply make it the same height, or if they'll lift it up a little bit with maybe a long range plan to lift up like one section of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, so they could get some larger ships up in there. I mean, it is an opportunity. It's a sad opportunity because of what all happened, but it is an opportunity for them to potentially raise up the bridges. That'll be interesting. Hit it hard. Going underneath the Golden Gate Bridge is pretty cool as well. Jessica Ray, yeah, you're waiting for me to come to New York and sail under the Verrazano. Now, the Verrazano looks like, you know, the funnel is definitely going to be chopped off. That's about how close it looked like with the funnel here, although the Verrazano is a very wide bridge, so you've got a lot of time to go under there, whereas the Skyway Bridge is like they just passed over. If you haven't seen the video, I have it on TikTok. I have it on YouTube. You can see it. It looks like the funnel is about to be chopped off. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so I want to do that sail away out of New York so bad. I'm from New York. I'm from the Hudson Valley. I would love to sail out of New York sooner than later. Hit it hard. You're going out of San Francisco again in October to Hawaii and back. So we are planning.
We're investigating the idea.
We're thinking about it in 2026. We're thinking about a round trip from Los Angeles to go around Hawaii. Rebecca's been looking at Princess and Viking right now for that potential trip.
Viking doesn't have their 2026 Hawaii out yet.
Yes.
So, but I looked at.
So we are. So that is on the radar for 2026 to do that one. So that should be absolutely lovely. San Francisco is another place to come out of. Of course, Holland America does it out of San Diego as well, where you can keep it classy on the entire cruise as you come back. But pretty TK. Do we have any plans on sailing with Oceana? Don't know if you spelled it right. Yeah. So that's how it was supposed to be spelled, but apparently when they printed either business cards or something was printed for the company that had the I. So it's Oceania is what it looks like. It is NIA. They decided, okay, that's the name of the company. They had everything printed. But yeah, we sailed on the Oceana Serena for 12 nights over December and January. All of our TikToks are up there. It is amazing.
Not all. Oh yeah, your TikToks.
Most of it. And also we have a 12-night Alaska cruise coming up in June of 2025. We have a group sailing. In fact, I think I have the slide on YouTube. We have, and actually I got to update that slide. We have an Alaska cruise, 12 nights out of Seattle, June 26th through July 8th, 2025, sailing on the Oceana Riviera. That's only 1,200 passengers. We now have 2 categories left. Our pricing is $1,000 less than the pricing that is on the public site. Plus, we have prepaid gratuities in our group, and we have the drink package upgrade. So that's a $1,200 upgrade. So it's a $2,200 savings with our group right now. We know that our cabins are going to get taken away soon. So right now, we have up to $2,200 savings on the Oceana Riviera sailing in Alaska, June of 2025 for 12 nights. We have up to 15-hour port stops. I mean, we have long port stops during this thing. So yeah, if you want to come join us on Oceana, Oceana is a lovely cruise line. So much included, you know, all of your meals are included, Wi-Fi is included, specialty coffees included, soft drinks are included, up to $1,200, and shore excursion credit is included depending on the length of the cruise. Flights can be included along with airline transfers, and really all you got to pay for are the gratuities. A beer, wine, champagne is included with lunch and dinner. So it's a really cool cruise line. It's a casual luxury cruise line. It really is. It's a very casual, chill cruise line. So, yeah, just absolutely amazing. Janet just went on the Viking Danube. Nothing more spectacular than cruising into Budapest at night, bridges and buildings lit. Just amazing. And, you know, it's very interesting, too. You know, you mentioned that, especially on the rivers, sometimes the water's too high. So the ship can't go. The ship just kind of has to pull off to the side and wait until they can get under the bridges. And they've had some issues with flooding over there of late. So there have been times that, you know, either the ship isn't going to go and it's going to wait, or you're going to have to get on a motor coach. But I bet coming into Budapest at night is spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Thanks for sharing, Janet. That looks amazing. Tartan fins up. Love the content. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I've got more I've got more content from the Margaritaville Islander coming out. I bet some of you are starting to get sick of the Margaritaville Islander, but she was a lot of fun. I shot a lot of content. Yeah, so I have some more of that. In fact, a lot of people have been asking me about the packages. The marketing department, God bless the marketing department, right? They came up with, I want to say, about 12 or 15 different packages for the Islander. They didn't tell the ship what all the packages were. Now, this is normal. This is totally normal. Marketing teams come up with stuff all the time, and then they don't tell the ship. So you may see posts for like the next month of people going, well, I paid for this package, and they didn't know what I was talking about, because they literally didn't know what people were talking about. The marketing department forgot to tell the ship, hey, we came up with all these great ideas. And if I'm being honest, there's too many packages. It's actually kind of confusing. I can see even after the ship figures it out, they're going to be confused because there are too many packages, to be honest with you. I would not be surprised to see Margaritaville scale some of these packages back. But I've got a video coming out right after the show outlining all the packages. They have drink packages, spa packages, dining packages, combination packages. So yeah. SBK. Back to back next Saturday, the Ascent and the Scarlet Lady. So a side to side. I love that. Oh, that's going to be really cool to see what you think. Personally, if I could have done it, I would have done it the other way around. Valiant Scarlet Lady going on to the Ascent second, but it's going to be really interesting to see what you think. I tell a lot of people, if you like Virgin or Celebrity, you're probably going to like the other cruise line as well. So yay. Oh, two beautiful ships. Have an amazing time. Should be a lot of fun. Natasha, please do call. Please do reach out. What is the date of the group? Paige, if you're talking about, I was just talking about the Alaska group. If that's the one you're talking about, it was June 26th through July 8th, 2025.
And if you're talking about Margaritaville, we have not officially announced that yet.
That'll be February of 2025. We will announce it. We may announce it this week. I'm trying to wait until they fix the booking engine for travel agents. But the Alaska group cruise, Oceania Riviera, 1,200 passengers maximum. We have 2 balcony cabins left, or 2 balcony categories left. We don't know how many cabins are left because they're giving us extra cabins until they turn them off. The cabins are priced up to $1,000 less than the pricing that is currently on their website. Plus, we have prepaid gratuities and a drink package upgrade, which is $1,200 value. So you're getting a $2,200 savings over what's currently online right now. So yeah, Barbara, I can't wait to go up there as well. Doc, DJ, what should you expect for the Food and Drink Festival on Virgin Voyages? That's kind of a cool thing that they do. They're going to have some unique dining options, and they're going to have some unique cocktails. Just like going to the Food and Wine Festival at at Epcot. They like to change out things. A lot of times, from what I understand, like they're trying out things that may show up on the menu later, so they kind of use it as a trial. Plus, chefs like to experiment. And that is their opportunity to just kind of go wild and just do things that might not normally be able to do. And of course, then the mixologist can just kind of go wild and do things. So cruise lines use their food and wine festivals and things like that and events a lot of times just to try out new things. So just expect new things, expect the unexpected. So have fun most of all. Yes, Solani, is a Carnival upgrade to a balcony room worth it? Yeah. Is a balcony upgrade worth it on any cruise line? If it's a price point that you want to pay, sure, it can be. Just understand, like, there can be some balconies that are in areas that are like right below the pool, that you may hear some noise from the pool coming down. And if you're right below a smoking area, keep that in mind. Smoke can sometimes come over the side, even though it goes up. Sometimes there's a draft that happens and it can pull the smoke down. Or you could be
on Carnival. They do have some ships with the smoking areas down low. So
so you could be in a balcony right above. Actually, with any cruise line, you could be in a balcony right above a smoking area too. So if that turns you off. So in terms of the balcony itself, it could be. It's just the location that you get may or may not be worth it. But that's totally up to you. But if the price is worth it and you want to go for it, sure, why not? Why not? So, Michael, you're heading to Athens for 7 nights next week on the Voyager of the Seas. Oh, that's a great class. Any tips? Ooh, well, make sure that you paid close attention to the port stops, okay? That you know which ones are tender ports and which ones aren't. Like Santorini is a tender port for sure. Also understand where are you porting versus where it's the thing that you want to see. So like Piraeus is like 45 minutes from Athens. Civitavecchia is an hour from Rome. So just make sure that you understand, a lot of people get spoiled by the Caribbean. You walk off the ship and you just walk right into St. Martin. Walk right into, wherever. It's not like that in Europe and a lot of these stops because the ports are nowhere near where the thing is. So make sure you understand and you allocate for the time that, because I've had some people just like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was going to take me 2 hours to go round trip from Rome at least. So,
and that's not the case with every single port.
Not the case with every single stop. So that's the biggest thing. Just make sure you fully understand. And on a tender port, understand that people who are on a Royal Caribbean tour are going to get priority. The disembarkation, they're going to get the first tenders. Now, if they're running 2 sets of tenders, sometimes you can get a ticket for that second tender. It just depends on how many people are getting off in Santorini and how many people or at the tender port and how many people have Royal Caribbean tours. So they get the first off. Fortunately, you're on the Voyager. That's not, it's a relatively small ship. It's around 3,000 people. That's a mid-sized ship. So it shouldn't be all that bad. Beyond that, understand. So you're going next week. So we're in June. So the crowds are building up and it is hot. It is very, very hot over there right now. So make sure you have a lot of water. Make sure you're prepared for that. The crowds are starting to build up. Understand that if you want to go to something like the Acropolis and you're just going to show up and try to go, you may not be able to. The lines may be so long, you may not even be able to get in there. So you want to make sure you're on a scheduled tour that is going to skip the line going into there. But that's like the biggest tips right there. Just make sure you understand the ports and how much time is it going to take me to get from the ship to the thing, and then from the thing back to the ship. That can surprise people sometimes. It's just how far away some of these things can be. So, but have a great time. Have a fabulous time. Have we been on the Mardi Gras? Yes, we have. In fact, we have a whole playlist on TikTok. We have a whole playlist on YouTube. Great ship. We had a fabulous time. I really want to go see the Jubilee. I do want to go on Celebration, but I really want to go see the Jubilee because I love what they have done over there as well. Alex said you were just checking the Margaritaville drink packages. It looks like specialty coffee isn't included. No, I don't think it is. But everything else is. So you just pay for the coffee. They have one coffee bar in the buffet, a really cute coffee shop up there in the buffet. And I did actually suggest to them that maybe they should put another coffee station somewhere else on the ship because most cruise ships, they'll have like an espresso machine at almost every bar or at least at a lot of the bars. So I will say in the morning, it's the only coffee spot. So the line can get long in the buffet, but it doesn't surprise me that specialty coffee isn't included. It's the same thing with Norwegian. Norwegian's ultimate beverage package does not include the coffee. You have to step up to the more expensive one. So Marie, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Thanks for joining the show. Horace, when is the best time of year to go on a Mediterranean cruise? That's a great question. So the crowds in the heat build up right June all the way into the beginning of September, like middle of June all the way into September. That is going to be the most crowds. It's going to be the most heat. So we recommend trying to go a little bit earlier in the season if you can, or maybe going a little bit later in the season. But we also have to understand that maybe not everything is going to be running, especially if you want to go like in October. Some things may be starting to shut down and whatnot. But if you're looking for a quieter, cooler season, maybe.
I think that's less true with the Mediterranean because there's visitors who come to that area year round.
Oh, sure. But in terms of cruises.
Alaska.
Yeah, but in terms of cruises, like cruising over there, because he's asking about a Mediterranean cruise.
Yeah,
so in terms of cruising, I would say April, May. Like April, some of the ships are coming back over there. May is usually a somewhat quieter time. And then September, October are also going to be quieter. So just in terms of the smaller crowds, like you don't have 40,000 people, 30,000 people being dumped off at Piraeus, for example, or whatever it is. So yeah, that would be my advice. So you're welcome, Michael. I hope that was helpful. Michael, I'm gonna assume that Michael, you watched the video on food on the Islander. You had a family member come off the inaugural sailing with E. coli. I hope they actually got tested, that they actually had that, because I haven't seen any reports of that myself. So we came off fine, no more than my usual. So every time I go on a cruise, I eat way too much. And I eat way too rich of food. So my stomach is always unsettled every single time I come off a cruise for like 2 days. It was no different coming off of this ship. So I don't know.
It can happen anywhere.
Yeah, it can literally happen on any cruise. I mean, you know, we have seen reports of norovirus and whatnot coming off a ship. So that does happen on ship. That's not specific.
They were tested.
Yeah, they were tested. So that's good. So at least I got tested.
Feel better soon.
Yeah, I hope they do feel better soon. But that's not, you know, particular to Margaritaville at Sea. It doesn't really say anything to Margaritaville at Sea, because it can happen it does happen on other cruise ships as well. They are still figuring out their systems, and plus, you know, people, you know, the passengers themselves are responsible as well, because they need to wash their hands. Look, I'm in those men's bathrooms, and I see you guys. I can see all of you guys. You know, you're just doing your thing, and then you're just walking out. That doesn't help your fellow passengers out there. You got to wash your hands. You got to wash your hands. Everybody watching this, you need to wash your hands. When you walk into the buffet, they have sanitizers right there at the buffet. You need to sanitize your hands. So it's on the passengers too. It's not necessarily the cruise line's fault or the cruise ship's fault. Anytime something like this happens, the passengers also bear a responsibility to, you know, wash their darn hands. Wash those hands. So, yeah. So
one of the reasons we love Royal Caribbean, because they have people in the
they can washy
reminding you.
My God,
in a fun way.
Washy man from Icon is like, you know, viral famous right now. I can't go on TikTok or Instagram without seeing Mr. Washy from Icon. He was great. I loved him. But now he's got the sash. He's got everything. So yeah, there is no cruise line like Royal Caribbean that has washy, and it's great. It's great. I think every cruise line should invest in a washy person, because one, it makes you laugh. Two, it makes a point, you know, and it reminds you to do it. So yeah. I hope you're having a great time on the Sun. Michael, I'm glad you had a good time on the Margaritaville as well. Mo Amy, tip for a New Year's cruise to Mexico on Princess, must do's. I don't know what you mean by Mexico, if you mean the West Coast or the East Coast, which side you're going to be on. But, you know, yeah, I don't know your itinerary, so I don't know what the must-do should be. I don't know what ship you're on. So I'm sorry, I can't help you with that question. So NCL is the same way. I'm missing a question from above.
Maybe they were, I can't remember, because I generally don't, I try and avoid the buffets on NCL, because personally, I don't enjoy them. Yeah. So maybe that's.
The washy person. Yes. Okay. NCL has a washy person. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. But thank you for that, Barbara. Yeah.
They certainly, if they do, it's not somebody who's singing you songs.
No, they don't
just
sing.
Be somebody reminding you.
And Princess the same way. You know, Princess has usually had that person with the bottle right in their hand, squirting it in your hand, so you can't possibly go by. So I see that it is. Somebody talking about sweet perks on the Margaritaville. I will have a video coming out on that at some point. It's not like there's a ton of perks on there. You know, obviously you get express boarding. That's one of the biggies. Rebecca and I have booked a Grand Suite Corner Terrace for our February group cruise. What were you about to say, something?
I was going to say I would say the sweet perks are kind of more similar to what you might find on, say, Carnival. Yeah. So they're not. It's not like you're getting a Royal Caribbean Genie, or you're getting, you know, the Yacht Club drink package included. So
yeah, it's a lot of, you you get the perks, you get express boarding and things like that. And
but then again, the cost of the suite is, really about.
The cost of our suite is less than a Royal Caribbean balcony.
Certainly on the newer ship.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, the pricing is pretty doggone amazing. And the pricing for our group cruise is really amazing. I was waiting for permission from Margaret. You know, some cruise line, They allow us to advertise the pricing. Some cruise lines do not allow us to advertise the pricing. We can kind of tell you what the percentage is. So I can't tell you what the pricing is for our group cruise, but we've got 50 cabins on hold right now on the Margaritaville Islander, and we have balconies, ocean views, and interiors. And I can tell you the pricing is really aggressive. They did a really nice job setting us up with that. And then there's a fellow agent who also has 50 cabins. So our goal is to put 100 cabins worth of people.
And you can book suites and get them added in. There's not special pricing on it per se.
Sounds like a battle going on out there. But yeah, we can book you any cabin on the ship. You just won't get that. You just won't get the discount. So, and then we can go ahead and put you in the group. So yeah, so that's it. And just a reminder, we do have 3 other group cruises currently booking. We're going to be on the Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th, sailing out of Fort Lauderdale. We're going to be on the Oceana Riviera in 2025, June 26th through July 8th, 2025, sailing to Alaska, 12 nights, 8 ports, up to 15 hours in port. It's amazing. And we will be on the brand new Norwegian Aqua, May 31st through June 7th of 2025, sailing out of Port Canaveral. And in February, we will be sailing on the new Margaritaville Islander for 6 nights, going to Key West, Progresso, and Cozumel. And we will have a really spectacular group event that's going to happen on there. So we're going to have a great time. Somebody's asking, is there a single supplement cost? There are certain cabins on Margaritaville that we saw that had 0 single supplement. You actually could just book it as a solo. I don't know if they're still doing it, but that's what they were doing last week. You know, they've had a lot of pricing changes in the last week. So yeah. So as far as I know, I haven't looked lately, but last week they had some cabins that had zero single supplements. So let's see real quick, because I got to wrap this up. I've got meetings coming up. Have I always been a travel agent? No, for 32 years. I worked in television, film, and marketing. I have my own creative agencies. Very fortunate, knock on wood, that I was part of 13 Emmy Awards and 2 Peabody Awards during that time. I also started 3 or 4 very successful internal marketing departments and creative departments for other companies. And I became a travel agent about 20 months ago. And we are one of the fastest rising travel agencies in our hosts. So, hi, you're new here. How are you? Hey, it's Dixon's birthday. Happy birthday, Dixon. And that's it. I've got to run because so for Margaritaville, they were doing no single supplement as of last week. Now, a lot of things have changed. So I need to go back and look to see what they're doing right now for solos. There probably will be some sort of a solo supplement added, but I know they're trying to be aggressive with solos as well. They just want people to come on the ship. They want people to come on the ship. So I've got meetings coming up, so I've got to run. Do you take classes for Travel Advisor? We are in constant training. Not only do we train with our host agency, we have training with the Cruise Line International Association. Plus, we have to take training on every single travel partner. So if you were here earlier, I said we represent about like 30 different ocean and river cruise lines alone. So you can imagine how much training is involved with all of that. And then the training is ever evolving every year. So yeah, it is always training. And yes, Cruise Line International Association, they keep us in line. So there's a lot of training. There's a lot of work. I will tell you that my days start at about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they may not end until 1 in the morning. So that's how much we work. So Bonnie, where do you find us? That's super easy. Where's WalterTravel.com? You're watching us on TikTok. If you click my logo, there is a link tree in there. Contact us. Just set up a time to chat. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, there are links in the description. Or again, where's WalterTravel.com? Go to contact us. Set up a time to meet. So who's coming on Thursday? I think this Thursday it's a quiet one. It's just me at the moment, although I've got to work on getting Riverside Luxury Cruises back. I had to postpone Michelle last week. So everybody, that is another Sunday wrap.